If you guys love the NFL, which I think everyone watching does, you should subscribe to the Chat Sports YouTube channel. The link is right there at the bottom of your screen. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. We don't just do Cowboys stuff here. I'm on that channel all the time breaking down all the latest NFL news and rumors. So if you haven't already, go subscribe right now. Cowboys rumors coming at you guys around Mike McCarthy. Could he be the first head coach fired this year? I'm going to give this one just the 1 star, and I'm actually a bit surprised this is the case here. Now, sports betting put out some odds around who will be the first NFL head coach fired this season, and Mike McCarthy led the way. He was the number 1 coach. He was the betting favorite to be fired first this season. Now, his first year was absolutely ruined by injuries. And I get it. The Cowboys absolutely have playoff expectations. Like, that is the main thing this year. They should be a playoff team. But the Cowboys have also shown patience, especially Jerry Jones, as we all, unfortunately, saw in the end with Jason Garrett. Now, I did want to go through the coaches here who cracked this list and mention some names I think could get fired before McCarthy. McCarthy led the way, as I mentioned, plus 700. So these odds indicate a bit of an uncertainty around who actually gets fired first. Vic Fangio, plus 800. I don't mind that one. I think he should be above McCarthy. Matt Nagy might get another year after drafting Justin Fields, plus 900. John Gruden, plus 1,000. His contract says otherwise. Mike Zimmer, plus 1,100. Maybe not first, but actually a decent dark horse name right there. Cliff Kingsbury, also plus 1,100. Best example, shout out Cliff for pulling it off, of failing upward I've ever seen in my entire life. Zach Taylor, plus 1,200. Actually, that one's a good bet. Good value on Zach Taylor. David Culley, plus 1,600. I don't really get Matt Rule being there. He signed a pretty heavy deal, long deal, plus 1,600. Mike Vrabel, plus 1,602. Yeah, not on board with those ones there. But in the end, I don't think Mike McCarthy gets fired first among all NFL coaches this year. And I know that his recent track record has been not great, to put it nicely. 6-10 last year. But again, that team was decimated by injuries. I mean, they didn't have anything out there. That they were down to tackle 5, tight end 1 was gone, quarterback 1 was gone, and the defense was just a disaster across the board. But if you don't show growth this year, okay, that's a different conversation. But for right now, as we sit, when I think the expectation and the likelihood is the Cowboys are better this year, I'm not going to put Mike McCarthy on the hot seat. Now, if we get to the midway point of the season and things are looking bad, and it's not because of injuries or whatever, I'm not going to say Mike McCarthy is likely to get fired by any stretch of the imagination here. In fact, I'm willing to bet, based on all the moves the Cowboys have made, the way they drafted some more developmental guys on defense, the hiring of Dan Quinn, who was not going to come to Dallas, I thought it was going to be a one-and-done stop because his head coach got fired, I am willing to bet that Mike McCarthy at least gets 2022 as well. Because that first season, it doesn't really count. And I know some of you didn't like some of the individual decisions, but let's also be realistic here. How many games did the Cowboys win if Jason Garrett was their head coach last season? 3? 4? I think McCarthy was worth at least 2 wins over Jason Garrett. So in theory, 2021 should be a little bit better for the Dallas Cowboys. But what do you guys think? Do you believe the Cowboys will end up firing Mike McCarthy? Get your votes in for me right now in the comments. Of course, I mean, by the way, this year. I'm not talking like at some point, because at some point, yeah, the answer is probably a yes. But this year, I'm going to go with no. But get your votes in for me right now. Y for yes or N for no in the comments section. Let's talk Packers, technically speaking, Mike McCarthy's old team, and also Leighton Vander Esch. How about trading him to Green Bay? Although I think a trade could happen to Green Bay or somewhere, only giving this one the 1 star. It's just so specific. Floated out there by USA Today in what they called some of their great trade ideas that they had together. They thought were brilliant there. Sensible was the exact word. I lost it there for a second. The Cowboys, as everyone knows, declined LVE's fifth-year option. They drafted 2 linebackers early. Trading LVE does free up playing time. But the Cowboys, love off-ball linebackers. Catboy loves having them on the team. And if you trade LVE away now, you are selling at the absolute lowest point, and you're not going to get that much in exchange. So with that in mind, what would you guys do with Leighton Vander Esch? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. Type in K for keep or type in T for trade. USA Today did not have a trade package involved there because they are cowards, but I'd say you're looking for maybe a 5th-round pick if you were to deal Leighton Vander Esch. His 2018, I am going to take the L on this one. I was completely among the people who said LVE and Jalen Smith is the best young linebacker duo in the NFL, and oh, how the turntables in the end, because recent Leighton Vander Esch has not been good. In fact, I thought down the stretch last year, Jalen Smith was outplaying LVE. Now, he's pretty cheap. He has the pedigree. There would be some interest there. But do the Cowboys want to punt altogether? The reason why I'm at least open to the idea of seeing what offers you get is because you've invested elsewhere now in the linebacker position. Micah Parsons, Keanu Neal, Jabril Cox all come onto the roster this year. And for about 70% of the time, you're going to play 2 linebackers, which means you're sitting one of your most significant free agent signings, or one of your top draft picks, or the guy you paid, Jalen Smith, or the guy you drafted in round 1, LVE. So depth-wise, role-wise, not snaps to go around. And specifically for Green Bay, well, they could use an inside linebacker, because Barnes and Martin, I would hold it against nobody if you had literally never heard of either of those guys before. Kamal Martin and Chris Barnes are, well, I guess maybe they're low-end starters at best there. Frankly, LVE might be the best linebacker, and he would be talent-wise at least on that roster. So I would at least explore a Leighton Vander Esch trade. Whether or not that happens, we'll see. If it does happen, though, you know we're going to go live for it. Hit that big red button and subscribe. Link is right there. Bottom of the screen, producer Brett having some fun changing the colors right now to help make sure you guys see it. If you haven't already, you really should subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers, and I get my plaque from YouTube, and we celebrate with some drinks and other stuff there. Hit that big red button in the end for daily Cowboys videos, which I'm sure everybody out there watching at least once. Let's go to offense now, namely the offensive line. Is it a good, strong, one of the best units on this team? Yeah, 3 stars. I am surprised by how often I see national media and fans going, oh yeah, but the O-line's bad, which is just evidence of not really paying attention. The Cowboys' offensive line unquestionably was bad last year, but it wasn't because of the players on the roster. It was because of who was hurt and all those things. Now, The Athletic ranked the offensive line as the number 3 position group on the roster. And I actually think that's about fair. I might disagree a little bit with some of the exact, or second group, some of the exact positioning there. But if the unit is healthy, things are going, I think, to be good for the Cowboys on the offensive line. So receiver was number 1, which I unquestionably agree with there. I misspoke earlier. Offensive line was 2. I might flip quarterback just because healthy Dak Prescott is a top 10 player. Easily for me. Linebacker 4, running back 5, whatever. But if that offensive line is healthy, or at least 4 out of 5 healthy, guys, it's a good unit. Tyron Smith, La'el Collins, those are great tackles. Connor Williams is way better than some of you people out there give him credit for. Tyler Biadasz is coming along nicely. Zach Martin is unquestionably either number 1 or number 2 among guards in the NFL. Now, the PFF, by the way, has gone through ranking all the offensive linemen in the NFL. All right? And tackles were grouped together, guards together, and centers by themselves. The Cowboys are one of the only teams to have all of their starters ranked in the top 32 of each group. Tyron and La'el, 22-25. I'd say higher if healthy, but maybe medical's a thing there. Connor Williams, which has some of you people in shambles, 21. That's a bit high, but again, he is a starting caliber guard in the NFL. Zach Martin was 2. Tyler Biadasz was 24. If everything is at least close to healthy, acknowledging that in reality, Tyron's probably going to miss like 3 games, as he almost always does as of late. But even if he misses just 3 games, the O-line's not a concern for me. They've got multiple tackles who have started games in the NFL, plus a 4th-round pick and a talented kid in Josh Ball. Your guards are good. Your center is not Travis Frederick, but he should be fine. Is this the Great Wall of Dallas 3.0 or whatever number we're on now? No, of course not. But it's still a good enough unit. So what is your confidence level then in the offensive line? Rate this for me on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being no confidence, 10 being the most you can possibly have.